Background videos I created to you here back when I how to play. Today we're looking at how to play the game Pikit. Don't ask me what that means, but Pikit. This is another game from Repos Production with a nice shiny UV ink box designed by Miranda. And the artwork is by somebody. The artwork is by... it doesn't say on the box. I apologize. I just want to see who did the artwork. Bear with me a second. It was done by Sylvan Repos. I guess, is he the guy who owns Repos? I don't know. In the game, you get a whole bunch of stuff. It comes with a card tray that you're actually going to be using in the game to put in a draw pile and a discard pile. The bottom of the box is actually used as a dice tray. It actually has information on the side as well about all the cards. You'll see that you have 6 each of numbers 1 through 7, 8 each of 8s, and only 1 each of 9, 10, and 11. The dice are nice and kind of chunky with different colors painted on. They probably wear out after a while, but nice for now. And the box actually has this like material on the bottom, like a felt or something, which is cool. And it's art on the inside as well with these skyscrapers, because this game, you can tell it's a skyscraper art. You can just pick it on the skyscraper. It's a mecha themed game, you know, the Godzillas and the King Kongs and the Power Ranger monsters. They're all giant size. That's what you get in this game. You get some tokens and some cards. There's 12 tokens. There's these 6. Minus 3 points, and these are, what are they called again? Wounds. They're wound tokens. If you take a wound, you get these. You get these by, if you steal from an opponent and you grab a free, you take a wound token. So you want to try to avoid capturing the frees, as indicated here. So you're free, you take a wound token, and you discard the stolen card. So you don't even get the 3 points, you're just losing 3 points. The ones, by the way, if you have the most at the end of the game, you get 15 points. And if there's a tie, you each get them. And 8s, if you take an 8 from the table, you have to take all of them. Those are the special rules with those cards. But all the cards have special rules, which I'll get to. You also get these tokens. These are your kind of pairs tokens, your doubles. If you roll a pair of 4s like I have here, I'll just bring this in. Then you would take this card and token if it's available and add to your hand. These are going to be worth 15 points at the end of the game. This goes in front of you so everyone knows who has it. Because if somebody else rolls a pair of 4s later on, they can try and steal it from you. And if whatever they steal, they get to keep. And if they steal it, they also get this, obviously. This is just to signify who has it. Anyway, the rest of the cards, so the card you get these 6, which are the mecha. And the rest are the kaiju, all very Japanese. And they have different numbers on them, as I mentioned. They also have different symbols on them. 2, 6, 5, 7. I'll have to mix these up. I got a 5. And yeah, I think that is it. So I'll mix them up, obviously. They just have a smooth plastic coat finish, in case you wanted, and they're these skinny tall cards. It's an interesting size. So different cards have different symbols on them. These ones, the special cards, the 1s, the 3s, and the 8s have no symbols on them, but the other numbers do. Also, on the other side, this card is at 15. So if you get the 15 points, you use that to keep score at the end of the game. But let's talk about these other cards. The 2s have these 2 dice symbol on here, and it lets you re-roll 1 or both dice if you want. You just discard this card. These are discard abilities. So these cards that have abilities on them, you would discard them and then do the action, the ability of that card. The other cards, the 1, the 3, and the 8, or just special abilities, basically, special actions that only take effect, at those, if you're taking the 8s and there's more than one, or if you have the most ones at the end of the game, or if you steal a free. So you got that one. The 4, and all the 4s are the same, all the 2s are the same. The 4 has that taking a card symbol, and that just means you can steal a random card from another player. The 5 has this card. It lets you draw another card from the top of the draw pile and add it to your hand. The 6 has this symbol, and it is basically a nope card, a block card. It cancels the effect of a card played by another player. So if somebody plays a card to steal one from you, you can block it. If they play a card to try and re-roll the dice, you can block it. It's, cancel the effect of a card played by another player. Doesn't specify that it has to be played against you, just played in general. And then the 7s have this dice on here, and this just lets you turn one die over to the face of your choice. So if I don't like the pair of 4s, I can rotate this and change it to a 4 and a 5. The 9, 10, and 11 all have this question mark on there with Godzilla, apparently, or King Kong, whatever that is. And these just let you use any one of these abilities, but you're discarding 9, 10, or 11 points. And at the end of the game, you want to have the most points to win. So there's some risk to playing these cards, but there's also potentially some reward. So yeah. So I'll shuffle up the cards a little bit here, and then we'll get started. And to start, we're each going to draw a hand of cards in a pretty interesting way. But first, actually, we're going to put out 8 cards on the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do that. Now we're going to draw our starting hand. And even though there's a bunch of 1s and 2s, we just leave them all individually. So what we're going to do to draw the starting hand is we will draw cards from the pile until we reach or exceed a value of 10. So you might have 1 card. If you get a 10, you might have 2 or 3 cards, 4 cards even. So I'm going to draw one. It's a 3. That's 7. And I will stop. This guy's going to go. He gets a 6. And a 7. And this guy's going to go. He gets a 3, a 3, and a 7. I'll just put this. I'll try to get everything to fit in here best as I can. So we'll leave these in your hands face down. After, you're going to draw them face up in front of you, and then you will put them in your hand face down. And then once your turn, it's pretty simple. You will roll the die. I got a 5, a 2 and a 3, or a 5. So next, you will choose one of these cards, or 2, based on what you rolled. Well, first, actually, you roll the die, then you look at your cards and decide, do I want to change anything? Do I want to discard this one to draw the top card? Do I want to steal a card from another player? You can do one of your actions. If not, then you look at the dice and see what you rolled and figure out what you're going to take. So I can either take one card that is the sum of both die, that would be a 5. I can take one card that is the difference, in this case 2 minus 3, or 3 minus 2 is 1. So I can take a 1, I can take a 5, or I can take a 2 and a 3 if there was a 3. Or I can just take the 2. So I can either take one card that's the sum of both dice, the difference, or 1 or 2 that match the faces of the dice, or nothing. And if I roll a double, I just take one of these, if it's there, or I try to steal it from whoever has it. So in this case, I can take a 2, I can take a 1, I can take a 5. I'm going to take a 1 because, remember, at the end of the game, whoever has the most 1s gets 15 bonus points. So I'm going to take the 1, put it in my hand. Once you take a card, you're going to refill. Next player is going to go. Remember the 8s. If you take your 8, you have to take every one that is here. Not sure that's, I guess that's a good thing. And he gets a 10. Okay. Oh, how he wishes there was a 10 on the board. Does he want to use an accent card? No, because that's 6, 7 points you'd have to give up. Can't really use this one anyways at the moment, and this one, it really makes little sense. Unless, the only way he might want to use this one to change the die is if he had nothing. If he had rolled something that he couldn't collect, then he wouldn't be able to grab any cards. So you can either take, when it's your turn and you roll the dice, you can take cards again that have the value, match one or both of the dice, or it has the difference. But if there's nothing that you can take, if there was nothing that's the difference, in this case 2, nothing that's 10 if you add them up. Basically, right now, this guy, if there wasn't these 2s or the 6 on here, he wouldn't be able to take anything. Let's just put it that way. And so in that case, he might want to use the ability to change the number on one die, but he's not going to do that right now. He can take a 2, he can take a 6, he'll take a 2. Because the 2, it's a low valued number and it lets you re-roll the dice. So it's 2 points you'd give up, but that's not that bad. That's the way I look at it when I'm playing the game is, do I want to use these cards that are 6, 7, 8, 6, 7 points, 5 points? Or do I just want to use the ones that are like 2 points or 4 points that are less points and might give me more points? So this guy's going to roll the die. He gets a pair of frees. He's happy about that. He's going to collect this card, put it into his hand. And actually, he could take an ability too if he wants. He's not going to change the die, obviously. And then his turn would be over. So then it comes back to me. I'll roll the dice. I get a 3 and a 4. Well, there's no 3, there's no 4. I could take a 7. But I'm going to work on collecting the 1s. I'm not going to use an ability. Well, I'll use this 4. I'm going to discard the 4 to draw, or to actually steal a card from another player. So let's just say I steal from this player. Huzzah, I get the 7. And then I still get to take this card. So I'll take a 1. And then we draw a replacement. And then the next player is going to go. He's going to roll the die. He gets a pair of frees. So, since he rolled the frees, he gets to try and steal this card from this player. I'm just going to shuffle up the cards. And he takes a card. And it's a free. Ooh. Remember, if you steal a free, and that was just random, but it works out perfectly. Steal a free, you have to discard it. And you take a wound. And then the next player is going to go. He's going to roll the die. If this guy rolled the freeze and he already has the freeze, it doesn't specify what you do, but I would say he just get to roll again, or actually just take a 3 or a 6 is probably what I would do. So he gets a 3 and a 5. So he's going to do the 8, and he gets to take both the 8s. He's not going to use an ability. Nah. He actually hit 2 frees, apparently. And then we'll replace those cards. Oh, another 8, another 4. You keep doing this, going around the table until you've gone through this entire stack of cards. Once the last card comes out on the table, you each take one more turn. And at the end, you score up your points. So if we were at the end and we scored up your points, I have the most ones, so I would get 15 points. I would get this, 15. And 25, 30, 2 points. This guy would have 6, and 2 is 8, minus 3 is 5. Not great. And this guy, he would get 15 for this guy. It even actually says on the back, 15. Just as, I forgot about that, but yeah, it says that. So 15, and 15 is 38, 41. And then I have again. Damn it, he beat me. So yeah, that's how the game plays. You go around the table, rolling dice, using special abilities you want, collecting cards if you can. More often than not, you can. I don't think I've had a situation where that I can recall where somebody wasn't able to collect anything, but that might happen. And yeah, then you score your points once you go through the deck. I think it's a pretty cool idea, pretty cool concept, pretty nice artwork. Interesting special effects and everything. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Nice box and everything. Card tray. All sorts of stuff that comes in a nice little box. So that's that. That is Pikit. Comment, like, subscribe, and what you think. We'll see you next time for more. Make sure you pick it up. See ya.